Hey, how's it going, Paul? How are you?
Hey, Graham. I'm good. How about yourself?
Doing awesome, doing awesome. Obviously, we got TakeOver 30 coming up on Saturday. Very excited for it. A big part of these TakeOver specials is the electric crowds. But seeing as how TakeOver in your
Yeah,
house was, widly regarded as being such a success, even without fans in attendance, did that give you more confidence that these TakeOver specials can still be special even without a formal audience in attendance?
it did. I think that, look, everybody's doing the best that they can. Is it ideal? Look, no, I wish I could go into a packed arena tomorrow and let these talent do what they do, but that's not our reality in this time. It's part of the reason why, WWE has one, we've continued to put content out, but it's why we're working so hard on what you're reading about today, which is the Thunderdome complex and inside of Amway Center and trying to bring our fans back in a way virtually that can be meaningful. The WWE at its core, it's about our fans. Everything that we do from the in-ring is geared towards them. As a performer, everything you do is geared for getting a reaction. Every other sport is different. You're there to win first, and the reaction just is kind of you want to tune it out anyways to a degree. So it's completely different to what we do. But yeah, look, it's about being able to go out there, put on the best performances that they can in this environment, build it up as big as possible, hopefully put out a set and a design and everything else that resonates with people and continue to move forward. I think that what was successful about In Your House was some of the nostalgia stuff helped connect the dots. This one, I think we have some pieces that'll help connect the dots, but obviously we'll find out Saturday. The matches themselves are spectacular, so I have no worry about that. With Io Shirai and Dakota Kai, I mean, you couldn't get two better women in this moment in time to go out there and do what they do. And, Keith Lee and Karen Cross, to me, I can't wait.
Yeah, the whole card looks stacked on paper. And of course, one of those matches is Adam Cole, Pat McAfee, being a marquee match at TakeOver 30 this Saturday. How long have you been waiting to do, a match involving a celebrity, a notable name? Because it's very rare in NXT that we see something along these lines. Or was it simply a case of it just kind of making sense with the history that they have and McAfee's association with the company as it stands right now?
Well, it's a funny thing that people look at this one as a celebrity thing, and there is a component to that. But the truth is, Pat has wanted to do this for a while, and not only just from hey, I'd like to wrestle one time or anything. Like, Pat wants to be a WWE superstar. He really does, and in some ways, he's custom made for it. It's a feeling now of, can he do the job bell to bell? He's been working hard. But if you really look at this, it's been, I don't know, a couple of years in the making of just the moment in time when Pat sort of comes to the show in Indianapolis and starts this chatter with Adam Cole, and it's been built along that line. So you can go back and say this is a 2-year celebrity storyline if you want, but I know Pat's not looking at that. In that way, I think Pat's looking at this as, I'm going to show you how good I can be, and we're going to continue to do business moving forward. So I see this a bit more of the Ronda Rousey than I do the one-off. And I'm trying to think, nobody even comes to mind, a one-off Lawrence Taylor or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say someone along the lines of David Arquette, but that's a good example as well.
It's nothing like the David Arquette one. Yeah, no offense to David,
exactly.
but yeah.
Exactly. You mentioned Dakota Kai and Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship. NXT has largely been responsible over the last 5-6 years for the resurgence of sorts in women's wrestling that we're seeing today, not just in WWE, but all over in wrestling. Is it safe to say that this is the strongest that the NXT women's division has ever been, even over that 4 horsewoman era from 2014, 2015?
I do. I mean, it's hard for me. The women and the women's division in general, we have, as we've continued, and I can't say enough good stuff about Sarah Amato, because Sarah Amato is like our linchpin at the Performance Center of getting these amazing women, but taking them past where they are when they come through the door and getting them to be something more. And, you know, we all have a hand in that, but she works with them the most day to day. And, you know, the roster or the depth of the talent has always been thick. What you can do with them from there has been the process. And, you know, when you had that period of time where you had the 4 horsewomen just tearing it up and putting out match after match, and then moving forward, there was a moment when they all leave, and I remember saying, "Please leave me Asuka," to Vince. If you leave me Asuka, I can rebuild around her, but I need an anchor. Mm-hmm. And Asuka was that anchor because she's just so amazing and can do anything, as you still see to this day. Building women around her. I don't want to take away from any of them, because as they've all moved up the line and done incredible things, from Ember Moon to Shayna Baszler to, you know, even the Iconics from an entertainment standpoint, or you know, God, there's so many of them that it's been amazing to watch them. But when you look at this moment in time, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox, Shotzi Blackheart, like, you can just go, and I'm sure I probably left out, even just in that run, 4 or 5 women that you would go, oh my God, like, it is stacked. And for those women, there's the Indy Hartwells and the Jessica Mia's and Xia Lee's and people behind them that are right there, ready, just waiting for that opportunity for them to come when you know, somebody goes down on that starting roster and they take the spot and they knock it out of the park. You know, they're just waiting for that opportunity. So it's even deeper, I think, than people believe.
Yeah, it's just a very deep division right now. We're getting the best of the best at TakeOver with Kai and Shirai, which is really exciting. With TakeOver coming up on Saturday, it's the 30th installment, dating back to when it first started in 2014 with Arrival. One question that a lot of fans have wondered over the years, has there been any chance that we see a Triple H match on a TakeOver? I know it's all about the future and whatnot. Is there any chance that we see a Triple H match on one of these TakeOvers in the future, maybe down the road if the opportunity were to present itself?
Well, I can tell you, Paul Levesque hopes not. Yeah, no, you know, look, I hate to say never, you know, never say never to anything, right? But that's not what NXT is about. It's not what the brand is about. If we have an opportunity to use myself or Sean's stardom or reach or anything else, that's what we're there for. You know, whether it's taking the pictures with them as they walk through the door so that it gets opened up to a larger audience or anything else, that's the intent of all of it. And it's really about them and building the future. And I wouldn't want to take away from that in any way. And to be honest with you, I get a better satisfaction about sitting behind the curtain, watching them. It's like watching my own kids go out there and perform, and you're just so happy and excited and proud of them and get to see them take it to another level. It's really, that's so much more meaningful to me than the other part. Now, there's also a part of me that goes like, I'm so fond of all of them that going out there and performing or doing something with them, even like when we did, you know, we did the episode of SmackDown or whatever it was, and NXT got the emergency calls and they all came in and we were all standing in the ring together, cutting promos, and you know, that was a blast, right? Because it was just putting them out there in front of the world. But as far as getting in the ring and wrestling, no desire at this point.
Kind of on that same token, what do you hold in higher regard? All the accolades that you've had in the ring over the last 25 years of your career in WWE, or what you've been able to accomplish with NXT dating back to 2012?
Again, hard for me to say. It's a different level of excitement, right? So, and the only thing that I can, because I am a dad, that I can equate it to is that analogy of, you know, as excited as you are about the things that you accomplished and you succeeded, and, you know, I'm like anybody else that gets in this business. At one point in time, I saw it, thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen, wanted to do it, and had a dream, and then I got to live that dream. Nothing can take the place of that. But to then go forward and watch your own kids accomplish things and whatever their dream is, to see them do that, know that excitement level that they have and how proud you are of them, and know that they're going through the things that you did. It's a different energy, but yet just as meaningful. And it's the same with all of them. You know, we watch a lot of these people come in the door, and you know, it's dreams and hopes and everything else, and they go through the ups and downs and all of it, and you're there with them, watching them do it, and then they get these opportunities, whether it's a takeover, whether it's their first match at NXT, or first time they get a big main event match at NXT. Watching them have that success, it's hard to explain how cool it is. So Sean and I are like, you know, two old dads sitting on a park bench backstage at Gorilla, jumping up and down for them, and we can't wait for them to walk back through the curtain so we can give them a hug and whatever and tell them how great they did, because it's awesome, and it means a lot to us as much as it does to them.
And a lot like with the women's division is the NXT just in general that we're seeing right now, you know, having competition airing opposite of you guys on Wednesdays on USA Network, being live on USA, being live for the first time weekly ever in NXT's history. Is this the best NXT that we've seen up to this point, in your opinion?
Well, I think it's hard to say ever that, well, this is the best version or the best time or the best anything, because, you know, you look at it and you're negating other people or certain moments in time, or then you look at people in the moment that they were there and you think, wow, they would become something so much bigger than that later, right? So it's hard to put your finger on exactly the moment in time, but the roster's deep across all of it. And, you know, I'm thrilled with the opportunity to go live. I'm thrilled with the Wednesdays. I'm thrilled with what we're doing and the viewership that we have. I'm thrilled with the competition, and I'm glad that they're doing well, and it drives everybody to do better. But when I look at our roster, the talent that we have, and from top to bottom, you know, you look at this TakeOver 30, McAfee Cole, Io and Dakota Kai, Keith Lee Cross. You've got the North American title ladder match. The depth on that. You once you get past all of that, there's still, you're not even talking about the Garganos and people like that aren't even in this. I mean, the Ciampas. Like there's a lot of people still that just aren't even here in this moment and in this time that are just that are big players and main event players, and yet you're seeing the Grimes. You know, Cameron Grimes, Bronson Reeds, Damian Priest, the Thatchers, you know, all these people, Dexter Lumis, that are coming out and establishing themselves and becoming bigger stars and household names at the same time that you still have all those other people. It's deep, and it's awesome to see.
And it's all about replenishing the pot. I mean, every time you guys may lose one person in a Matt Riddle or a Bianca or a Shayna, there's another new person who pops up. So there's never a shortage of exciting names popping up in NXT, which is cool, including Finn Balor. You know, we saw him. Or sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I was going to say that when we very first started, it's funny, when we very first started NXT, and then you know, we did Arrival and everything, and then there was a moment in time there where you know, we were calling up a lot of talent to the main roster, and I remember hearing it a lot from people that this is the end. Like, this is the problem with NXT. It's a feeder system, and every time you build a star, the star stays for a little bit, then leaves and goes someplace else, and it spells the demise of it in general. And at that point in time, I kept saying everybody thinks that's the weakness. That's the strength. Because you don't get yourself in that position of, you know, this guy's been here for 15 years. And, you know, it's just, I've seen him do everything that there is to do. And there's constantly something new. There's constantly something exciting. Somebody's moving. Somebody's coming back. Somebody new is coming in the door. There's always something like that happening. And as good as, you know, you mentioned it earlier, as good as the era with the Four Horsewomen were, you know, then you got into the Asuka era, then Shayna Baszler, and there was so much talent there. Now you're getting to see Io Shirai carry that. Now you're getting to see Rhea Ripley carry that. Now you're getting to see Tegan and Candice and Mia Yim and all these women carry it. It's not the weakness, it's the strength. And that freshness is what carries it moving forward. So feeding the system, yes, feeding Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. That's the key, and it's constant. That constant supply.
And with TakeOver 30 coming up on Saturday, final question for you. I know this is going to be a bit tough, but off the top of your head, I know the whole Mount Rushmore thing is, it's a constant question being asked, but specifically with TakeOver, are there any 4 matches that stand out to you as being the best in TakeOver history? And again, I know it's tough because every match on a TakeOver is great, but are there any 4 matches specifically that stand out as being the best to you?
Oh boy. There's been so many. Like I could throw anything with Gargano and Ciampa on there.
Yep.
I could throw, Bailey and Sasha in there. Then there's moments when Shinsuke came in and he wrestled Sami Zayn that just have sleeper written all over it. There's the first North American title ladder match that was just, crazy. Anything Adam Cole has done pretty much since he's been with us.
Yeah.
To put one, to say one, people ask that all the time. What's the Mount Rushmore? What's the this with it? God, it's such a ridiculous, almost ask to narrow that down to 4 people or 4 matches or 4 anything, because they've all been impactful. They've all been, great. There's if you were to say pick 4 matches that were bad, it'd be hard to do. And so trying to pick the 4 best is just crazy difficult.
Yeah, even from the early eras too. I mean, you can go back to Sami Zayn, Cesaro from that first Arrival show. You can go to Neville and Zayn from the Evolution show. There's just so many over the last 6 or 7 years. It's incredible.
Yeah, it really has, and that's a testament to the talent and everything they've put out there and gone through to get there and prove themselves, and you're continuing to see that now. It's a funny thing is every time you feel like you build a Keith Lee to a place where, geez, he's just a mega star, right? Like, and you feel like, God, this guy's got a star written all over him. At the same point in time, all of a sudden, then you see like a guy like Bronson Reed. And I feel like sometimes when I'm watching Bronson, I feel like I'm watching the repeat of the Keith Lee build. That just this week by week, you're just going like, oh my God, this guy's great, and crazy what he can do and all that stuff. And he's really coming into his own now and feeling comfortable in his own skin in this environment. You see somebody like Cross come in and it's all new and different, and he just lights it up in a different way. You see Cameron Grimes come in and just, I think there was a lot of people at first that were like, I don't get this. And now they're like, oh my God, this guy's awesome. There's just so much of that. And you're constantly seeing as somebody becomes the big star, all of a sudden there's somebody else behind them that is taking that trajectory of becoming that big star. And then they're just almost waiting for that opportunity where somebody leaves or something happens and they get that opportunity to be the starting player and knock it out of the park. It's all about having the room to do it. But that's what I love about the brand. It's just so many hungry people just all chomping at the bit. And as a talent, you constantly got to be looking behind you because there's somebody there looking to take the spot.
100%. And Saturday's show looks stacked on paper. TakeOver 30 airing live on the WWE Network. Should be awesome. Triple H, Paul, thanks so much for your time, sir. I appreciate it. And best of luck with Saturday's show.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thanks. You as well. Bye.
Bye-bye.